war is changing. It is no longer just about armies and tanks. Today, wars are fought in the shadows, with information and psychology as weapons. This new kind of conflict is called fourth-generation warfare, or 4 gigawatts. 4 gigawatts has unique features. First, it often involves non-state actors. Think terrorist groups or even loosely organized networks. Second, information is key. Spreading propaganda and controlling the narrative becomes central to victory. Finally, 4 gigawatts heavily relies on psychological operations, or psyops, to influence and demoralize the enemy. The lines between war and peace become blurred in 4 gigawatts. It is difficult to identify the enemy, and the battlefield can be anywhere. In the past, wars were fought on clear battlefields with soldiers in uniform. Fourth-generation warfare shatters this traditional model. Enemies are often hidden among the civilian population. They don't wear uniforms, making them difficult to identify. This blurring of lines is a key characteristic of 4 gigawatts. Civilians can become targets, not through direct combat, but through fear and manipulation. The goal is to undermine the enemy's will to fight, without necessarily engaging in traditional battles. This new kind of warfare requires new ways of thinking. Traditional military strategies are not always effective against enemies who operate in the shadows and use information as their weapon. Gang stalking, while often shrouded in controversy, exhibits characteristics of fourth-generation warfare. Proponents of this theory describe it as coordinated harassment by multiple individuals against a single target. While difficult to prove, the tactics employed, if true, align with 4 gigawatts principles. Imagine this. You constantly see the same car following you. Strangers seem to appear out of nowhere, whispering threats or insults. You suspect your phone is tapped, your online activity monitored. These tactics aim to induce paranoia, fear, and ultimately, silence. Whether or not one believes in organized gang stalking, the concept illustrates how 4 gigawatts tactics can be used to intimidate and silence individuals, creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. The internet and social media have become battlefields in fourth-generation warfare. Disinformation campaigns spread like wildfire. Rumors, half-truths, and outright lies are disseminated to confuse and manipulate the public. These campaigns exploit existing social divisions. They amplify prejudices and sow discord among the population. The goal is to erode trust in institutions and create an atmosphere of suspicion and paranoia. In this digital age, information itself becomes a weapon. The ability to critically evaluate sources and identify disinformation is crucial to navigate this new landscape. A case study: the Specter of Surveillance. Imagine a world blanketed by surveillance. Everywhere you go, every step you take is being watched and recorded. The streets, the parks, even the comfort of your own home are no longer private sanctuaries. Facial recognition software tracks your every move. It identifies you in a crowd, logs your location, and even predicts your behavior based on past patterns. This technology, once a figment of science fiction, is now a part of our daily lives. Your phone listens to your conversations. It picks up on keywords, analyzes your speech, and tailors advertisements to your interests. But it doesn't stop there. It can also be used to gather intelligence, track your movements, and even eavesdrop on private conversations. Your online activity is monitored and analyzed. Every click, every search, every purchase is logged and scrutinized. This data is then used to build a profile of you, predicting your preferences, your habits, and even your future actions. This may sound like science fiction, but elements of this scenario are already a reality. Surveillance technology has advanced at an unprecedented rate, and its reach is expanding every day. Governments and powerful entities are increasingly utilizing advanced technology for surveillance purposes. They argue that it's necessary for national security, to prevent crime and to protect citizens. However, the line between protection and invasion of privacy is becoming increasingly blurred. While often justified in the name of security, these tools can be easily used for nefarious purposes, such as suppressing dissent or targeting individuals for their beliefs. The potential for abuse is immense, and the consequences can be dire. The increasing use of surveillance technology raises serious concerns about privacy and civil liberties in the digital age. As we become more connected, we also become more vulnerable to being watched and controlled. It also highlights the potential for these tools to be used in fourth-generation warfare, creating an environment of constant monitoring and fear. The specter of surveillance looms large, and its implications for our future are profound and far-reaching. Gaslighting, psychological warfare in action. Psychological warfare, a key element of fourth-generation warfare, aims to manipulate the enemy's perception of reality. This can involve spreading disinformation, discrediting credible sources, and even using psychological techniques like gaslighting to sow doubt and confusion. Gaslighting, a form of emotional abuse, involves manipulating someone into questioning their own sanity. In the context of fourth-generation warfare, gaslighting can be used on a larger scale, making people doubt their own memories, perceptions, and even their own sanity. The goal of psychological warfare is to break down the enemy's will to resist, making them more susceptible to manipulation and control. In the digital age, these tactics are more potent than ever before. The erosion of truth. One of the most dangerous aspects of fourth-generation warfare is its erosion of truth. With the proliferation of disinformation and the blurring of lines between fact and fiction, it becomes increasingly difficult to determine what is real and what is not. This erosion of truth has a corrosive effect on society. It undermines trust in institutions, fuels social divisions, and creates a climate of fear and uncertainty. When people can no longer agree on basic facts, it becomes impossible to have meaningful dialogue or find common ground. The battle for truth is one of the most important fronts in fourth-generation warfare. Developing critical thinking skills and learning to identify disinformation are essential for navigating this new information landscape. Living in the crosshairs. The rise of fourth-generation warfare has profound implications for how we think about warfare and security. Unlike traditional warfare, which was often fought on defined battlefields with clear front lines, fourth-generation warfare blurs these lines, making every space a potential conflict zone. The traditional battlefield is no longer the only or even the primary arena for conflict. Today, conflicts can erupt in urban centers, cyberspace, and even within our own communities. The tools of war have evolved, and so have the tactics. Instead, the battle is fought in the minds of the people, in the digital realm, and in the very fabric of our societies. Cyber attacks, misinformation, and psychological operations are now as critical as physical confrontations. The digital age has given rise to new vulnerabilities and new opportunities for those who wish to exploit them. This new kind of warfare requires new strategies and new ways of thinking. Traditional military tactics must be complemented by cyber defenses, information security, and public awareness campaigns. Collaboration between military experts, technologists, and civil society is essential to develop comprehensive defense mechanisms. We must be prepared to defend ourselves not only against physical attacks, but also against psychological manipulation and disinformation campaigns. The spread of fake news and propaganda can destabilize societies, erode trust in institutions, and create chaos. Vigilance and critical thinking are our first lines of defense. We must also be mindful of the potential for surveillance technologies to be used for nefarious purposes. While these technologies can enhance security, they can also be turned against us, infringing on privacy and civil liberties. Striking a balance between security and freedom is a delicate but necessary task. The future of warfare is uncertain, but one thing is clear: fourth-generation warfare is here to stay. As technology continues to advance, so too will the methods of conflict. We must stay ahead of these changes, constantly adapting and innovating to protect our way of life. We must adapt to this new reality if we are to protect our freedoms and preserve the fabric of our societies. Unity, resilience, and a commitment to truth are our strongest weapons in this new era of warfare. Together, we can navigate these challenges and emerge stronger. The uncertain future of warfare. The evolution of warfare shows no signs of slowing. From the earliest days of human conflict, we have seen a relentless march of innovation and adaptation. Each era brings new tools, new strategies, and new ways to gain the upper hand. The weapons and tactics of today are vastly different from those of the past, and the future promises even more radical changes. As technology advances, so too will the methods and tactics of those who wage war. Drones, artificial intelligence, and cyber warfare are just the beginning. The battlefield is no longer confined to physical spaces. It extends into the digital realm, where data and information are as valuable as any weapon. The soldiers of tomorrow will need to be as adept with a keyboard as they are with a rifle. Fourth-generation warfare is a fluid and constantly evolving concept. It encompasses not just traditional combat, but also guerrilla tactics, psychological operations, and cyber attacks. The ability to adapt quickly to changing circumstances is crucial. Commanders must be flexible, and soldiers must be versatile, able to switch roles and tactics at a moment's notice. What we understand as fourth-generation warfare today may be vastly different tomorrow. The rapid pace of technological advancement means that new strategies and tactics are constantly emerging. What works today may be obsolete in a few years. Staying ahead of the curve requires constant innovation and a willingness to embrace change. One thing is certain: the lines between war and peace, combatant and civilian, will continue to blur. In urban environments, distinguishing between friend and foe becomes increasingly difficult. Civilians are often caught in the crossfire, and the impact of warfare extends far beyond the battlefield. The psychological toll on both soldiers and civilians is immense, and the consequences can last for generations. The battleground will increasingly be the human mind. Psychological warfare, propaganda, and information manipulation are powerful tools. Controlling the narrative and influencing public perception can be as effective as any physical attack. The ability to shape opinions and beliefs is a critical aspect of modern conflict. Understanding the principles of fourth-generation warfare, particularly the psychological and informational aspects, is paramount in navigating this uncertain future. Military strategists must be adept at analyzing data and predicting enemy behavior. The ability to anticipate and counter psychological operations is crucial. The future of warfare is not about bigger bombs or more powerful weapons. It's about leveraging technology and information to gain an advantage. Digital warfare, cyber attacks, and information dominance are the new frontiers. The ability to disrupt enemy communications and infrastructure can be more devastating than any traditional weapon. It is about information, perception, and the battle for the hearts and minds of the people. Social media and the internet have become battlegrounds where ideas and beliefs are contested. The ability to influence public opinion and control the flow of information is a powerful weapon in modern conflict. In this new era of conflict, knowledge and critical thinking are our most potent weapons. Educating the next generation to think critically and understand the complexities of modern warfare is essential. The ability to analyze information, question narratives, and make informed decisions is crucial in navigating the uncertain future of warfare. What is certain is that times and technology is changing right before our eyes.